Today, I'm just going to talk about the 5 ways that I help our consultants with pricing, which is something that's really useful, practical advice that people often struggle with. So there are 5 different ways I help with that. I'm just going to talk you through them. The first way I help is with lots of practical real life examples of pricing. So that over the last sort of 10, 11 years, however long it is I've been doing this, I've collated an enormous bank of kind of examples of pricing different projects and different scenarios, so that the consultants aren't just kind of licking their finger and sticking it in the air and trying to guess how much to price. They can look at various things that have been done by me and the other consultants over a sort of number of years, and they can look at the specific examples, and when they're pricing a new project or a proposal for a client, they can base that on some real kind of solid examples. So that's the first way. The second way is just something about the ability to share knowledge amongst all of us. We have several consultants now. They all share knowledge and they share experience about pricing and their tips and those kind of things, and including their hourly rate. Because when you're trying to set an hourly rate and you're a new consultant, if you don't know what other people are charging, and often people are very cagey about charging, it can be really difficult. So our new consultants have access to information about what all the other consultants are charging, so they can get a realistic view of what an hourly rate should be in their area and what they can charge for different things. So that's real useful kind of information that they can access. Another thing I do, or something I can add, is having a really good understanding of the buying mindset of a small business owner. So I understand the kind of the things that influence a small business owner when they're deciding whether to go ahead with buying a product or a service, how they look at things, how they look at proposals, what value they place on things, and how to kind of get inside that and make the most of that. So that understanding of how a small business owner buys services can be really useful to somebody, especially when they're starting out and they've not done this before. We're on number 4, aren't we? There's experience of pricing projects. So pricing a project is a really tricky thing. If you've only ever worked in-house for a salary somewhere, you've never had to think about how much time you might spend on something, how much work is involved, and I've done an awful lot of this, and I know how to price a project so it's priced fairly, so that the consultant will get a fair fee, so that the client will think that sounds like good value. I can guide the new consultants in working out how much time it's likely to take them, and how much effort's involved, and how much input from elsewhere they might need, resources that they'll need to use, and having lots of experience of all that will help them set a fair fee and not get it wrong, because it's very common with a new consultant, someone starting out, including myself, to kind of guess what would be a good fee for a certain project and can get it completely wrong, completely underestimate how much time it's going to take, and you want to bypass all that. You don't want to be making those mistakes. So I can give lots of experience about pricing projects fairly and accurately, so nobody loses out. And the last thing, and possibly the most important thing I can do with helping with pricing, is something about boosting confidence. And we all have, or many people have, especially HR consultants, have this kind of apologetic mentality when it comes to charging. You're coming out of working in-house somewhere, being paid a salary just for turning up, usually not dependent on how good a job you do, not directly anyway. And we have this kind of apologetic mentality where we're kind of worried about charging somebody for our time, or we think, oh, are they really going to pay that? And it's a real problem. And one of the things I really support our consultants with, particularly at the beginning, they get better at it obviously as they go through, but particularly at the beginning is making sure they realise their own value and they have confidence in their own worth, and they don't have that apologetic kind of worry about charging thing that everybody gets. And that's a really important thing. Obviously really helps boost their income, especially early on, because if you've got an apologetic mindset about charging, you usually charge too little, or sometimes don't charge at all. So I really help them kind of get through that and get over that. So it helps boost their income, helps them getting good turnover much more quickly, but it also boosts their confidence and they feel happier about their work, and that shows as well. So so they're the 5 ways I help our consultants with pricing. And if you think that kind of real practical help and advice would benefit you and you're interested in starting your own HR consultancy, then do get in touch.